Kritika Reboot, a fascinating game where we're going to create a new class called the Blade Dancer. Now this character is a Hercules strength girl who wants to grow stronger by any means necessary. So everyone stay tuned to the end of the video to get my full review of the class as we cover over 3 separate topics today. It's going to be the combat, the awakening, and how difficult she is to play as. Catch you guys in a bit. Now play that intro. Well, hello my Outcasts, it's Chaos DTV here. Today's video is focused on the Blade Dancer class that was released last month in Korea and China. This is an overview of the Blader class, the entire tutorial of how she works and how to use her properly. So we're going to focus on the Blader class. As I said earlier, our new hero in the world of Kritika is almost the same as the original warrior class. So I'm going to customize my character and I'll see you guys in the tutorial. Okay guys, we finished up the customization, we created our character. Now let's head into the tutorial, finish it up. So let's talk about combat. Her fluidity in how she can move and fight and get in and out of battle is very articulate. I really like how smooth she plays. She's very different from most classes. I don't know what it is about her. It's just the way how she can glide in and out of combat with each of her abilities. She has one main ability that allows her to thrust, which you can actually use that to your advantage to get in and into combat and get out of combat. If you're in a pickle, boom, pop the ability, get out of there. Like, it just helps out so much. Now, the Blade Dancer class is very different from my original character, the Monk. Now, they both have 2 similarities with each other, and it's just basically the Monk can get really in-your-face brawler type of character, almost similar to the warrior. But the Monk do have specific abilities that allows him to stomp out damage enough that kind of make him more fluid like a Blade Dancer, but get that same power output like a warrior. But the Blade Dancer class, it's like you get the best of both worlds. It's almost like she's a hybrid. Like she's an entire hybrid of a monk and a warrior. She gets in and out of combat fast. She can stack up damage on top of damage. Like it's just, she's crazy. Like it's so bad. Like it's amazing. I love her. I've played with her for a good hour, got her from level 1 to level 15. And with that amount of experience learning her to get her up to her an awakening, man, don't she got some area of effects. Each of her abilities and even her basic attacks, you can at least take out 2 or more enemies at once. At least. Now that's most characters in the game, but her abilities are more specialized for the fact of enemies in groups. Halfway through the game, once you get to about level 11, you meet your almost not really teacher per se, because you meet your real teacher once you get to level 15. But I would say she almost is like a peer to you. She's the first apprentice to your actual master of the Blade School, and you get a small preview, just like any other character in the game, of how the Blade Dancer actually works. And this is her right here on the screen. And man, that combat that she has, just you wait, just wait. I got a clip for you. We didn't got to the most prestigious level there is in anybody's career playing Kritika Reboot. It is level 15. That's when your hero awakens into the Covenant Blade Dancer or any other class that you picked. Most classes have 3 different awakenings that they can choose from. Once you choose that, that is it. Till you get to about level 70, and I believe there's a little bonus you get for that class. For my monk, I chose the Dark Chaotic one. By using no XP boosts, I was just playing through the missions regularly like any other class. You can get to from level 1 to level 15 in about a good hour of gameplay. Good hour of gameplay, that will get you to understand how the combat works, how maneuvering works, how the game is pretty much set up to basically help you throughout the rest of the game. This game is a very, you go into a dungeon, kill the enemies, kill the boss, repeat the process. So it's not much going on unless you get to further in-game content where all the goodies are at. Our Awakening the Blade Dancer allows us to actually dual wield in a way. As our sensei says in the Awakening, he explains that our weapon is not just a weapon, it is a spirit. So our sword has this spiritual energy that can now be a projectile to also help us link up our combinations and our attacks. It is a very, like I said, she's very quick. So now her power has been, I can't even say it's been reduced. It's actually been amplified. Now she's dual wielding. Now her speed has increased drastically. And now she can do that really anime style where she closes the sword and the person dies. It's funny, actually. It's very funny. Like, I loved playing with the Blade Dancer. Definitely just take a good look at the clip that is right in front of you. She's even just much faster than she already was. Now her survivability is just top notch. She can evade everything. She can jump up in the air, do attacks in the air, evade all type of damage, get in and out, and she keeps the same exact ability she had before her awakening. So there you go. You do your evasions, maneuverable, everything's key. Now we're gonna move on to the difficulty. This difficulty topic is gonna cover a couple of things. Difficulty not as how hard the game is. The difficulty is gonna be how easy to difficult the Blade Dancer class is to use. Just in case if you're a beginner or if you're a veteran of the entire Kritika reboot, you've been here since day one, and all of these classes are easy to you. So I'm going for the people who's never played Kritika ever before. Like, this is your first time playing it, you just downloaded the game, and you're just like, oh, this class looks amazing. Well, I got a couple topics for you. One, I attempted doing most of these missions from level 1 to level 15 to Awakening on easy and on the hardest difficulty there is, which can't say the name of it because, you know, we're on YouTube, you feel me? So, the hardest difficulty. I played majority of every mission on the hardest difficulty, and basically, it still felt easy, if that, to say the least. Why I say easy, because like I mentioned earlier in the video, she can evade everything. She even has an automatic dash mechanic, and it just allows me to get in and out of combat. Now, what was hard, of course, obviously, at that such low level, her attack power didn't rise up. That's obvious. The game will tell you right away you're not even strong enough to even do the hardest difficulty. But we're not gonna sit there and worry about the attacking. We're gonna worry about how much damage she's taken and how was she able to survive. Now, I've used only maybe from level 1 to level 15, I've used only 3 healing items by only playing on the hardest difficulties. Even going against Kavala, which is our first humanoid boss other than fighting the other couple bosses like the mech and the guy that flies around, all of them, I still fought them all on the hardest difficulties, and I still got away with not even 3/4 of my health. It was still fairly easy if you knew what you were doing. Now, obviously, if you play on the normal difficulty, you're gonna destroy everything. So I gave myself a challenge and chose the hardest difficulty. Because of her attacks and her skills, it allowed me to maneuver and kill the smaller mobs first, then focus on whoever's my main guy. So even if it's a boss battle or I'm just doing a basic dungeon run, boom, knock up all the smaller enemies, kill them, done. Head to the main boy right here. The fluidity of her movement is just immaculate. I can weave in and out of combat. I can sit there and burst through damage. She has a lot of single burst damage too. That's with her number 1 skill, which is like an overhand cleave attack. Yeah, so overhand cleave attack. That right there just chops away the damage. Like, that enemy's health bar is almost gone. It's almost gone, bro. I'm telling you, like, you add that with her number 1 and her number 4, which is like a little slash in the air. It's like 2 slashes in the air because it pops them up because of the number 1. It was just a piece of cake. Using her juggling capabilities is also a very good advantage, especially on bosses, because you can just treat this like as Tekken. Any Tekken 1 through 7, and boom, bounce them off the ground, keep doing it. Like, her abilities allow so much advantage, and I felt that same way when I was playing with my monk class. Like, I'm able to juggle a lot. Now, I haven't played many of the other classes to get a full aspect of how they work, but I will eventually be getting to them too to get my idea on how most of these characters work. Evasion is key with this class. I can tell you that right now. If you don't evade, you're probably not going to have a good time. You have to utilize her abilities to evade and weave in and out of combat to make it immaculate. Now, Kavala, which you've seen previously this clip, was fairly easy on the hardest difficulty. Now, why I say that is, yes, he has his little stupid shadow clone jutsu here that allows him to, and if you attack the wrong clone, he gets a free hit off you. Now, the hit took a good chunk of damage, but it wasn't something that I couldn't handle. And once I started realizing, okay, which one's not the clone and which one's the real Kavala, easy, piece of cake. The difficulty here, if I had to give it a grade on average to hard on how to play as her, I give it an average. Average Joe can use her. Even when you awaken, once you just learn how her abilities work, she's average. But if we are talking to people who's never played a game, I can almost slightly give her a on the hard difficulty rating, that she's hard to use, and I would advise you to use another character, create a whole nother character before you start playing with the Blade Dancer. Why I say that? Because you got to understand the mechanics of how Kritika Reboot even works. If you don't understand how Kritika works, it's gonna be very difficult for you. But because of my previous knowledge of the game and me playing it all of last of 2019 and me playing a bit of 2020, I know how to utilize characters. So by me taking advantage of the way that her abilities allowed her to combo, juggle, and evade, it made life easier on my end. So I can say, yeah, she's an easy character for me or an average character for me, but if you are a beginner and you've never touched this game in your entire life, she could be a little bit intimidating for you because of the fact of you don't know how to utilize combos like that unless you play with the warrior class, which is basically the standard character, and you learn how the game works. So now we're going to cut to the end of the video, which I'm going to give you guys the final chaos rating. So we're at the end of the video, and I give Kritika Reboot, the Blade Dancer class, a fat 9 out of 10. 9 out of 10 is that you should go play with her right now. You should grind her out. You should do everything with her. You should make her one of your new created characters. Now, most people think, well, why not give her 10 out of 10? Well, she lost the 1 point due to the fact of she's only really fun to play with until you reach level 15. I noticed myself getting bored a little bit from the level 1 through the level 15. Like, after hitting level 3, it got boring. Like, it wasn't really fun anymore. Like, it was just it was not really that cool anymore. But once you get to level 15 and you awaken her to that Blade Dancer class, oh, that's when things start popping off. And of course, as we know, storyline wise, the missions become better than what they originally were, and you get to do a lot more cool activities. But as the Blade Dancer class itself, I give it a 9 out of 10 just because of the fact of it does get a little bit repetitive and boring literally from level 1 until you get to 15, and that's when your abilities open up. And I think you can really say that for almost any character until they awaken into whatever new class that you're going to get at. But I feel that most characters should be still fun from that grind. It's like playing World of Warcraft. I should still be having fun from that grind till I get to the part where I'm just a god. You feel me? You feel me? All right. So, but that doesn't mean don't play with her. That's a 9 out of 10. That's a fat 9 out of 10. You got to. She's really cool and interesting. And the fact that she just wants to keep getting stronger, and you hit that level 15 and you just got even stronger, broski. You gotta just basically anybody who plays with her, just skip the quest. Skip all the dialogue, burn through all the levels. That's exactly what I did. I just burnt through all the levels. I played just to hurry up and get more XP, and got to level 15, and that's where the fun really began. But other than that, guys, so guys, how you like the class guide? Please let me know in the comments section below. Question of the day is, what is your favorite class in any MMO? Don't have to be specifically towards Kritika. It can. But let me know. If you play any other MMO, like World of Warcraft, you got Kritika, you got Albion Online, you got all these MMOs. My channel is mainly an MMO and an RPG. So what class? Are you a hunter? Are you a ranger? You're a rogue? Whatever. Let me know in the comment section below. And please, all my outcasts out there, like this video. Comment, please. It helps. I want to talk to you guys. And subscribe. Till next time, KSDTV is signing out.